Senators have officially been sworn in as jurors for the upcoming second impeachment trial of President Trump.
So what can we expect in this historic Senate trial? Let's bring in one of those jurors, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand of New York. Senator, thank you so much for being with us. And if you can first, just make it plain for our viewers here, right? There was a test vote yesterday, 45 Republican senators essentially voting against the trial. You would need 67 to convict. The purpose of the impeachment conviction is to get a president out of office. President Trump's already gone. So explain to our viewers why you still think this is a worthy pursuit.
The article of impeachment that was passed in the House that came to the Senate was for incitement to insurrection. And it's a serious charge. It's definitely a high crime and misdemeanor that was intended by the Constitution to be part of an impeachment hearing and trial. So even though President Trump is no longer in office, we think that because it's such a serious crime, you need to have accountability. You actually have to do your constitutional duty. And there is precedent to actually try someone after they've resigned. We did it in the 1800s for a Secretary of War who was accused of fraud, and he rushed over to Ulysses S. Grant to resign at the White House, but the Senate continued and actually finished their trial. So that he could be held accountable. We also, if he is convicted, we could preclude President Trump from holding office again, which I would support. But I have to say, the proceedings yesterday were very disappointing. Only 5 Republican senators believe that it's even constitutional to hold the impeachment trial. And so if that's any indication of where people will vote after the trial, there's no chance that President Trump will be convicted based on that showing.
Well, Senator Gillibrand, we know that Senator Patrick Leahy is the one who will be presiding over these impeachment proceedings. And yesterday, shortly after he was sworn in right there, we know he was briefly hospitalized. They said out of an abundance of caution. He's home now, thankfully. But what are your expectations in terms of how Senator Leahy will handle presiding over these motions in this trial?
Well, Senator Leahy is a lion of the Senate and has dedicated his life to public service. So I'm quite certain that he will serve impartially and that he will do his job properly to preside over this impeachment trial.
I want to turn now to the zero tolerance policy. President Biden has already changed policy, Trump policy on zero tolerance, which caused the separation of many families at the border. President Trump did a year ago sign an executive order that essentially stopped the separations, but Biden went further and changed the policy. What's the significance of the move that President Biden has now made?
I think it's very important. This is one of the reasons why President Biden ran for president. He wanted to restore the soul of the nation. And I think there was no greater outrage than what President Trump did in separating babies, children, nursing infants from their mothers and fathers at the border and put them in cages. So President Biden is going to start a new policy where it is far more humane and fair to assess immigration cases. I think it's a great first effort by President Biden to begin to heal this country. And I think we can have a dialogue here in Washington on comprehensive immigration reform.
Senator Gillibrand, you have been a very outspoken advocate of family paid leave. In fact, recently you've said that it is an elegant solution to the epidemic we're in right now. Can you talk about how family paid leave not only would help the employee, I think that's fairly obvious, but how it would help the employer as well? How does it work? Why is it beneficial to both?
So we are the only industrialized country in the world that doesn't have access to national paid leave. And what that would do is any worker, woman or man, who needs time off because they're ill, a family member's ill, a child's school is closed because of COVID, any other family emergency, could take time off and not lose their job. They could be paid during that time, a certain percentage of their income, so that they can keep food on the table, so they can pay their rent, pay their mortgage, and be able to not lose that position in that company. It would have made such a difference during COVID if we had had paid leave, because those first 3 months when schools were closed, parents could have kept their jobs, continued to receive pay, and not have to create the economic instability we've had. So there is no more urgent crisis than now to actually implement national paid leave. Employers love it. When California implemented it for the last 10 years, they asked the employers, how did this, affect your business? 90% it said it had no negative impact or a positive impact on their bottom line. And 99% said it improved morale and retention. So this is a win-win-win policy for the economy, for COVID recovery, and for families, particularly women, who are disproportionately harmed by the lack of a safety net during COVID. How many mothers do you know have lost their jobs or had to quit their job because they have to stay home with their child and be the primary caregiver, or had to stay home with a loved one who got COVID? That's the reality of families today, and paid leave is the most simple and effective solution.
All right, Senator Gillibrand, we hit a lot of subjects here in a very short time, but you all have a lot that you are juggling there in D.C. So, Senator Gillibrand, appreciate you spending some time with us here on GMA3. We'll see you down the road, all right?
God bless. Thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.